Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to SnackTime, an offshoot of the Anything Bowl, where we talk about one thing, one single topic. We try to keep it now under 35 minutes. We're extending SnackTime a little bit, but that's okay. That's for your benefit and ours. Today, folks.
Too much to talk about. Today, folks, these days.
Matt and I, if you cast your minds back to December of 2022, one of our most commented, engaged, raged about videos we did were hot takes. So, of course, to maximize on clicks, welcome to Hot Takes 2. Today, we're talking about relationships, dating, things of that nature. We've talked about how the dating landscape sucks, but here's just a couple of our personal hot takes that you might not agree with, and that's fine. We like discourse. Comment on it. Hit us up. Tell us what you think. Or keep your mouth shut. I really don't care. Matt, I got to tell you.
Yes.
Sending nudes suck. Okay? Nudes... Sending them
right out the gate
sucks. Okay, I gotta be completely dead honest with you. As a man, as a guy, I fucking hate sending nudes, dude. I stopped doing it a long time ago, when I was 19, because as a guy, there's no good way to do it. All right, you're always gonna come off.
It really isn't. It's so hard, dude.
You can, and sometimes.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it a buck, right?
Go ahead.
Unless you like some McConaughey shit or something like that, you don't really have much to offer. You know, listen, for me, I've had the highest weight I've ever been is 320. The lowest I've been is 190. So I've been all over the place.
Twiggy man.
And relationships in between. And I will tell you, no matter what you do, a muffin top will always get in the way. There's just something you didn't shave right, whatever the case may be.
You could do your best. You can shave that shit into a heart. You could try to get some people on TikTok will be like, "Oh, here's the best way for dudes to do it. You put the thing underneath. They do the top down angle."
No.
Regardless of what you do, shit is creepy. And I don't know if it's sending nudes sucks because of the creepy dudes that do it, right? Because now it's just one of those things where which I've never fucking understood either. Dudes will just be like, "Oh man, I like this chick. Let me send her a photo of my dick."
I don't see what the prompting is. You know what I mean?
I don't
I'll say this much though, and take this as you will. And again, this is just okay. There's no easy way of going about saying this, but
no.
See, if it's a female, it's different, and that's obviously biased because we're guys. But here's the thing.
Completely.
So I think when females send nudes, I think the problem is that it's not always the problem, but some females expect you some chicks like it when you do stuff to it, like you send a video back or something.
Yeah.
But my opinion is this. If you're sending me that, I'm going to assume that we're doing things together. So my thing is, don't look at it as an essential thing. It's like an invitation, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how it should, at least for me, that's how I've always seen it, and that's how I always will see it.
I could agree. It's kind of like a tease.
That's what I'm saying.
Guess what you're about to get when you get home.
And yeah, exactly.
But
so
honestly,
that's the way.
This could also just be a confidence thing, right? Because you and I are not macho man guys. Maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe we're like, I'm not confident enough in my genitalia, my penis, to. Do you see the way that my mentality went right there, where I was like, let me keep it PG.
Yeah, you really switched gears. I'm not. It reminds me of this freaking Vince Staples thing where he's like, why are you talking about body insecurity? Why are you trying to bring me into your problems, man? I didn't want to be part of that.
It's just I think it's a confidence thing. Or maybe that's just part of it. Because personally, I could never contemplate it, right? And it sucks because sometimes I've been with girls that'll be like, man, but I really like it when you send me a little something, a little back and forth, a little on the phone. Okay, I get it. Maybe you're 18, your girl's living an hour away because you met her online or whatever. Maybe you're like, oh, this is all I got. Fine, let's have weird Snapchat sex. Fine.
This is all I got.
once you're older and you have a relationship where you have someone in person and you see them on a day to day, I don't think it's.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dog. Dude. It's it's too much. I don't know, because it's so much effort because you got to stop everything just to get some good shots, and then especially
too, because you got as a guy, you got to frame it up.
If you have it at dinner time, let's say you're with your family, you get that shit. You got to go to the bathroom. You got to do all this certain shit. It's a whole thing.
You got to think it up. You're like, what if I do it like that? No, that's whack. And you're like, what if I do? No, now she can see my butthole. Like that. No, what if I do it like this?
What if I do it like that?
See, but as a girl, right? Again, we're dudes. We don't know. Okay, but as a girl,
some of y'all like it, and I can see that. Get something in return.
Stand in front of a mirror, and a dude's like, "I'm gonna be thinking about this for the rest of my life." Yeah, easy. But as a dude, you take that photo, that girl could be like, That's disgusting. Why is he grabbing it like that?
Why is he grabbing it like that?
So, bottom line, sending nudes as a guy sucks.
It's annoying. Doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done.
No, I mean, if you're good at it,
I think as a man, like you should always return a favor, but like it shouldn't 100%. Be the main part of it. Like, I think it's like part of the foreplay, and a lot of times, some people make it the main feature, and like that's cool, you know, like do your thing. If you're into it, fine. Do your thing, 21. But nah, I agree with that 100%. Well, I'd say 90% of what we just talked about. So, Mio,
yeah.
People give up on relationships way too quick these days.
100%, man. It's all about this fucking instantaneous gratification. All these fucking kids in their TikTok, and they go, man, I really like this guy. And you're like chasing him for a bit. Then you start dating. After 2 weeks, you're like, I don't know. I just don't feel that same buzz as like the first second that we were fucking around.
You're right, dude. So much instant gratification.
Y'all motherfuckers just want to swipe and go match. Nice. Let me fuck.
Yeah, dude. Love is dead. Like, people will literally just see what someone is about for like maybe like 2 weeks, and then they'll be like, I'm good. I don't like it. And then what do you don't like about it? And it's just like, I don't like it because they don't want to put the effort in and understanding that person.
But half of it is they're like, you know, hypothetically speaking, these are people in college, right? College kids on a college campus. They're hopping on Tinder. They match on Tinder. They meet a person. They go on a date. Oh my God, I'm so into him. But then because of the dating landscape right now, you know, she's so into him. But what's she doing at night? She's hopping back on Tinder. She's swiping around. Dude. She goes, wow, you know, this guy's actually really cool. She starts talking to him. And then all of a sudden, this guy you were dating for a couple of days, you're like, actually, I want this guy instead.
I think me and Ben coined a term a while ago when I was up there. And we called it option availability, you know? And it's like, with a lot of people, especially in the upper medians of the dating landscape, you know, when you have options, of course, like you're going to be prone to just be like, well, why should I put effort into one when I have multiple satisfying the ego? And I think that's what it comes down to. And like, for me mentioning that, I don't think it's like a spite thing from my end. You know, it's more so of like if that's how you want to run things, my opinion is people have to be in the same mindset, right?
Yes.
So like what you were talking about, a lot of people like situationships these days. Why? Because they can't be honest with their feelings. That's right. Bad.
We like living in denial.
Now, open relationships is a different conversation.
Completely different thing.
Because both people are cognizant of, I like you for the sex and hanging out with you, but I don't want to be committed. And this is just
or
to
vice
explore.
Versa. Or it's in an open relationship. It's you are someone I want to be with emotionally and long term, but I really like being with a bunch of different partners when it comes to being sexual. So I'm going to
polyamorous. At
exactly,
that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? Like whatever you want to do, it isn't a bad option. But the thing is, you have to make sure that people are on the same page. Because if they're not, you're a dick. I'm sorry. Not even sorry.
Look,
no,
honest,
you're a fucking dick. I'm not sorry. No apology.
If you hop into a relationship with someone and you don't have that even ground, half of you think that you're committed, the other half you think you're in an open relationship. The person finessing the other one, you're not a dick. You're a piece of shit. You are just 100%. Playing someone to do what you want. Because then it's not an open relationship. You're just cheating.
Manipulation.
Exactly. Gaslighting. All those other buzzwords.
But the thing is, I would argue that, you know, I think at least in my lifetime, open relationships have been one of the most educating experiences, you know, because it's like, it's less, and that's fine. I don't think it's meant for everybody.
No.
Depends on the stage you are in life, right?
A fact.
Like for me, as you know, I've had my periods, right? There was periods of long commitment, and then there's periods of like, let me see where I'm at with this whole sort of thing. And I think personally for me, I'm definitely back in we're in two different boats. I mean, you have a fucking fiance, so you're definitely in the long run. For me, it's more so, you know, I feel like I just started getting back on my feet in the dating game. So for me, it's more so, because now like past like COVID and other shit going on in life, you know, you get to a position where you're like, okay, I'm standing on my own 2 feet. What's next, right?
Yeah, you kind of like
so you start looking at all those other options, including like dating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I think the major point I'm trying to make about this is that, you know, at the end of the day, it's not really a problem in terms of, you know, if you're in an open relationship and people are on the same level, but coincidentally, you do need to be on the same page in terms of putting in the effort in whatever you're trying to do with said person. And for you to just be a dickhead and give up with no explanations, to me, is the most immature thing, because we're not in high school. You need the ball up, get your testicles, grab them, say like, hey, this is how I feel. What else you got for me, Miguel? Oh, dude.
So this goes for relationships, like situationships and everything. All things monetarily speaking should be even.
100%.
Whether that is dates, bills,
in dating or in a relationship.
Both. But there's exceptions,
Okay.
right? If you
Yeah.
ask a girl on a date, then yes, you should be paying. You initiated. But if you're dating and you're like, hey, we should go out, let's go get dinner or something, even. You got bills to pay. Even. Whatever it is. I think all of these things should be even, because then it creates this disdain and this separation. It could create this, like, God, what is the word? It's not even like anger or anxiety. It's just tension between two people, because money is an evil fucking thing. And the minute that in a relationship that you have some kind of tension over money, it's not that it's hard to come back from, but it's very easy for it to snowball. So I believe, with exceptions, dates, treats, whatever, all things should be split evenly. Yeah.
I think, so if you're in a dating phase, this actually will tie into my next point anyway, which is kind of funny, but
nice.
I think you're right. When it comes to the first dates, I think that you should definitely be paying first. I think there are certain things that shouldn't be equal, in my opinion, right? Like, the way I was raised personally, and the way that I was around, like, a lot of women growing up and stuff like that, I've just been taught to take care of it, because it's like, at the end of the day.
Oh, no, agreed. I'm saying this is a hot take, and I don't follow it completely.
Yeah, take this as you will, but I'm a pretty big traditionalist when it comes to relationships, as you could see from what our comments have been. And I do think that if you're taking out, whether wife, girlfriend, if you're just meeting them, I do think the guy should be paying.
No, I 100%. Agree. But it depends on
even if you're in
who's
a heat of,
initiating.
if you're talking, like, obviously, like, bills, like, I'll say this much: any leisurely activity, I think a man should figure it out, because at the end of the day, most of the it's not always most of the time. I'd say like it's 50-50, but a lot of times it's either or's idea. But it's just a gentleman thing to do, because if you're taking your woman out, you want to make sure she has a good time, so you want to take care of it. On the flip side, yeah, like, if you're living together, like, there's certain things that need to be taken care of, right? Like, I've talked to a bunch of people, especially at work, and I kind of like some of the systems they've come up with, like, some, like, the husbands pay the main priority bills, and some people just, the wives will pay the grocery bills, or vice versa, and stuff like that. I think that's great, because everyone has their roles and responsibilities, and you keep up with that, Yeah, once you start getting the gold digger territory, that's a bitch. I've met a couple guys too, especially older guys. They got money. They're up there at that point. They're doing a very good for themselves and whatnot. But man, like, don't get me wrong, these chicks are hot as fuck. But man, the amount of money, dude, forget it. I was talking to one guy the other. Huh?
Are you still talking about gold diggers?
Yeah, well,
okay.
It'll tie back to your money statement, though.
Okay.
Well, it still is anyway, but it is crazy. Like, I was talking to this one guy, right? Super cool guy. I don't really talk to him too often, but he has, like, really nice shit all the time, like, and me and him think that way similar. Like, if you're gonna buy something, I think yourself as well. If you're gonna buy something, make it quality, whether it's your clothes, whether it's your technology, cars, etc., etc. Don't go for cheap unless it's available to. So He was telling me stories about how he took chicks to Miami, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And, when he was younger, like 20 years ago, like, he would, he would think, like, these women love him for that sort of stuff. But eventually felt like, obviously you grow up and you find out, yeah, the money's really what they fuck you for. It really is. And you know what? It's not a surprise me saying that. That's like 40-year-old who came to realization from being 20 and having a lot of money. So to at least be cognizant for both of us to realize that now, it's an amazing thing, Yeah. But I guess to tie it all together, it can definitely destroy, and it can definitely manipulate a relationship even to its ends. Like can't tell you how many times I've seen it in my situations where it was very dependent upon, do we move out together? Do we not move out together? Like, you know, like what's this going to be like, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So 100% agree to that as well. Mine, another one. People are afraid of being traditional these days. It's not always a bad thing. So my thing is this. As I was just saying, you know, I grew up pretty traditionalist. So like I was explaining before, obviously there's certain things I feel that men and women still have traditional roles that they need to satisfy within a heterosexual relationship. This doesn't apply obviously to all relationship types, but I can only speak from a heterosexual type. But in my opinion, that's in a lot of ways how certain roles should be divvied up that way. Where I feel like as a man, you should be a good man. Don't be like an asshole. Don't be the type that's like, my wife's supposed to do this, my wife's supposed to do that. It's not what that's about. Yeah, it's more about I'm talking about just being
traditional
like,
roles. You're not talking about following stereotypes. And
exactly. Like, don't be the guy that's like, you know, like my woman will listen to whatever I do. Like, no, like you should respect your
I own her.
Your
She's
partner.
Mine.
She's my property.
This is Kentucky.
That's gonna be a bad snippet. But it's more so like, no, like this is my woman. It's my job to protect her. And I don't care if that sounds white knighty. That's just how I've always seen it. And that's actually, I mean, to give myself some forms of credit, that's how I've had the longest lasting relationships, you know? So it's definitely worked out for me. And it's just about like being like a good man, not being a fucking pussy, that sort of thing, you know? And that's where I see the traditionalist man. I don't see it as like the abusive or the over domineering or egotistic type, you know?
You're just like,
and ironically enough, but you know what's really crazy, Miguel? I know what you might be saying. Well, a lot of people think, no, they don't.
No,
you'd be fucking surprised
what
how
I was
emotionally
say
immature about that with people are.
You're like, it's funny. You're like tiptoeing the line. You're trying to like get as close as you can to being like, yeah, you know, I want to step on people's toes and all this, but then you're like taking a step forward, and then you're like, but you backtrack and you're like, well, keep in mind, I'm talking about the heterosexual relationship. I'm not trying to talk about.
Remember when I told you before we started?
Then you
this,
hop over the line and you're like, nah, man, but you can't be a fucking pussy. And then you make sure you hop back on the line, but you're like, you know, but in terms of traditional relationships, I really don't want to say that my woman is my property. I just want to be like. A lot of passion.
Remember when I said I like to dance the line a lot with certain things?
Matt, you're backflipping over the line.
I know. I either go. I go back and forth. It's not even like
you're dancing on the line. You're hopping on. It's kind of like
I'm hopping back and forth.
It's kind of like,
well, because it's like,
no, don't stand on my base, and you're like, I'm on your base now. I'm not. No, I'm on.
Why? But the way it's a hot take is the fact that I feel like a lot of people still don't understand it. So then when you tell them those sort of things, it's just crazy for them to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like you ask a lot of people about their relationships, and you see a lot of people's relationships, and again, we're no people to judge, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you hear what I'm saying, and then you see what people think and actually want to do in a relationship. It's the complete fucking opposite.
Completely. Nobody wants to be traditionalist anymore, and it's because
take the average intelligence of society and cut it in half.
Gratification.
Exactly.
Fucking TikTok generation, and I say that as I spent like 20 minutes on TikTok the minute I woke up. So anyway,
I got 90-minute watch time on there.
That's
for work. You know,
for work. My last one. And mind you, this one, I don't know if this is necessarily a hot take, but it's a hot take to a certain demographic of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to target them specifically. I am targeting you deliberately.
Oh, you're targeting? Oh, God.
Exes hold no place in a relationship. Not as a friend, not as including them because they like you, your ex and your mom still have a good relationship. Nothing. There is no good that can come of an ex still being around in a relationship. You know how horrible.
It just causes problems.
It causes problems for everybody. Because then it's
they're just a friend now. They're just a friend.
Bullshit.
We're on
they're
good
not a
terms.
friend. You're just secretly in love with them and you're trying to keep them on the back burner just in case this relationship doesn't work out. Who the fuck are you lying to?
Oh, that's funny.
They don't belong in a relationship whatsoever, man. It'll do nothing but cause you problems and heartache. You got the girl that's going to be always anxious about it. You got the guy that's going to constantly tell you that nothing's going on, but mentally in his head he's going back and forth and jumping back and forth. And then you get to the point of like, you know, the stereotype. Like it happened on fucking How I Met Your Mother, right? You got the stereotype of, oh, we should invite your ex to the wedding. Oh, why are we going to invite the ex to the wedding? Well, because, he's like the father of your kid. He's cool. Everything's fine. Now it might as well. And then what happened? The girl ran away with the ex-husband. You don't invite your ex to your wedding. You don't invite your ex into your life. Once they're your ex, you can have them be at peace. I believe in, you don't want hatred to be out there. You could end on good terms and whatever, with certain exceptions. But you don't, just because you're on good terms doesn't mean you got to be like, oh, let me text my ex right now and just see how she's doing. Let me just text her and tell her about this cool thing that happened. No, stupid shit. Exes don't belong in your relationship whatsoever.
I think I told Patrick this one time. You know what it's like? See, with certain people, it's like, whether I think it's friendships or relationships, it's almost like you climb a ladder, but you can't just jump down and restart to climb the ladder again because you're going to run into the same problems, And but people think, oh, if we start fresh, I'm just going to climb from the point we were in the ladder. That's not true. You start at the bottom, bitch. Dummy. So listen, I'm guilty though. I think we're all guilty of it at some point. We've done that, especially when we were a smidge younger.
Yeah, when you're younger, you don't really know what's going on.
You don't know what's fucked because I will caveat and say this much. I do believe that there's certain exes that you may have that have potential for second chances. I've seen people try it again and it's worked pretty good. And another thing, they've done a lot of studies saying that, going off the point of what you were saying, that the reason instant gratification is killing modern relationships is because people want the fix now. Yeah. But the reality is, one of the major focuses of couples therapy is actually recovering from cheating. If you document cases, that's a majority of them. So that's where I would say if there's no one in the picture and they come back, different story. Yes. Now, that being said, be cautious, because they could still be a cunt.
There's a reason they're an ex to begin with.
There's a reason there's an ex. But at the same time, no. If you find somebody new, enjoy it. Move forward. When you drive, do you look in the rear view mirror or do you look in the front windshield?
Well, technically you should be looking at both because you need to be aware of your surroundings when you drive.
Well, you gotta look at what's behind you, but you gotta keep moving forward. That's the message, goddammit.
Unless you're going in reverse, then you gotta back out of the spot in order to go.
Okay, anyway, Miguel, we get it.
What's your last hot take?
Codependency is rampant.
Oh my God. He's spitting facts, man. And it's so scary because you don't realize it's happening until it already is.
It sucks because you think something I've learned, especially from, not to put it on blast, from a last relationship, like a major one, is that is what blinds you to make you think you like somebody more than you do.
Exactly.
Now, that's not to negate the fact that you have an interest in that person. But what I will say is that it does teach you that you need to be your own person.
Yes.
And what's crazy is, again, and it's funny because this came up because I didn't even, for the record, we didn't really, we just kind of found out what we were doing with this snack this morning.
This is how snacks always go. All right, we talk about it.
We always talk shop for an hour in the morning.
Yeah.
So we never go okay, Tuesday we're talking about this. It's more so what the episodes is different. But the point being is that it's funny how we both have coincidental conversations with couples or within your relationship. That a big theme that I've seen is that people feel like they can't find somebody. So then they stick it out with that person, whether for financial reasons, whether for emotional reasons, for traumatic response reasons, whatever the case may be. And I think that's fascinating because I think a lot of people don't take the gall to just say, I'm going to pick my bags up and go because this is not working, And what's really funny for me, frankly, amongst my other issues, I feel like that me being more selective and not choosing people because I need someone, but because I want to be with that person has actually significantly decreased my dating rate. But at the same time, has made me a much more happy individual.
Quality over quantity.
And plus, I'm happy with myself. And I think that's the big thing a lot of people should take away from it. That is more important
than any fucking relationship you'll ever have.
Exactly.
Self-worth, self-acceptance.
Yeah, dude, that's a big one.
All that self-help bullshit. Some of it's true.
It's very true. I mean, I know we're going on that tangent now, but it's facts, man. If you pin yourself to another human being, everything leaves and people go too. So you have to look at people like they're additions in your life, not that they're necessities. Because people come and go. whether through death, through arguments, through divorce, whatever the case may be. So, corny ending, but be yourself. Have fun.
Oh my God.
Enjoy life. And the crazy shit about it sounds like a fucking 90s, like,
you wouldn't
drama movie.
Download a car, would you?
What?
You said the 90s. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
So fucking dumb.
Dude, this is your brain on weed.
My brain on weed. The point is, if you do what you like and you do what makes you happy, you'd be surprised that people are just, that person will attract themselves to you. And that's all I got to say.
Hooray.
And with that, have you ever heard my friend Anything Bowl? We are on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Did I say YouTube? We are on YouTube. We have the main channel. Go check out the main channel. Go subscribe. Go give it a like. Give it a notification bell. Put that bitch on so you know when we go live, when we put our main episodes, clips. Miguel works really hard on the clips. I put the shorts out and then make sure to go subscribe to this Twitch channel, Tab Streams, TAB Streams. Make sure to go subscribe over there. Make sure to also follow there too. I don't give a shit where you watch us live. We go live with the main episodes. I don't know if we told you that, but we go live.
We do.
It's a little inconsistent, but for the most part, we're pretty consistent on letting you know when we go live. So we'll take that. Tab Gaming. We have a gaming channel too. We stream games every fucking week. Make sure to go check that shit out. We like to entertain the people with my uneducated ass about zombies and then Miguel's frustration with zombies. So it's a good time. We're kind of trying to continue this as a spring season of gaming for the Zombies Bonanza. Again, got clips up there, got the full streams, daily shorts and clips, the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, the Anything Bowl podcast. Yay. Make sure to check it out. Miguel, what the fuck have we been doing in this cocksucker?
So, as you can tell, today is Wednesday. SnackTime used to go up on Fridays, but today is Wednesday. Why? Because if you missed on this past Monday, we had our new segment, movie review that doesn't have a name at the time of recording this, where we talked about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the review. We talked about what we liked, what we didn't like, and where the MCU could go from there. Before that, we had 52. Or no, before that we had what day is it today? Tuesday?
We had 52.
52. Yes, okay. 52, we talked about our most anticipated summer movies in 2023. Now that the summer movie season's coming up, we're switching gears. We're going all movies, all reviews, all tier lists all the time. Speaking of tier lists, before that we had Snack Time, the ultimate Metallica tier list. And people are loving our hot takes and opinions on the Metallica discography, so you should check it out. All the links, as always, are right below. In terms of gaming, we're getting through Vanguard Zombies. Check out the streams. We're finishing up, Vanguard's done. We're on World War II. Zombie stuff goes up every Tuesday, Friday, Sunday.
Bada bing, bada boom, bada
Brain train is slowing down right now. I could use some caffeine.
Caffeine is the way. This is the way. And with that, thanks for watching.
Goodbye.